If you're planning a Royal Caribbean cruise in 2026, there are some big changes coming that you need to know about. Some are great and will help you save money and get more out of your cruise. Others are disappointing and could affect your plans. But if you know about these changes before you book, you can take advantage of the best perks and avoid the pitfalls. If this is your first time here, I am Kat, and I share cruise tips, especially about Royal Caribbean cruises, to help you plan your vacations better. So if you like cruising as much as I do, make sure to hit that subscribe button. First up is one that I'm really excited about, is Legend of the Seas. This is Royal Caribbean's third Icon class ship, and she'll be sailing first in July 2026 in Mediterranean, and then in November she'll cross over to Port Everglades for Caribbean sailings. We are already booked on Legend of the Seas. We'll be on the very first long sailing out of Port Canaveral, and we've been on Icon and Star. Absolutely love those class ships, and Legend is bringing some new experiences that are really exciting. First of all, there's the Hollywood Lands Supper Club. Now, if you've been watching my channel at all, you know we absolutely loved the Lincoln Park Supper Club on Star of the Seas. The food, the jazz music, the whole vibe, it was just incredible. Well, Legend is getting its own version with the classic Hollywood theme from the golden age of 1930s, 40s, and 50s. And I know I need to start planning what I'm going to wear because this is going to be such a fun, elevated dining experience. Next, there's the Royal Railway Legend Station. Don't try to say that 3 times fast. That's that immersive train car restaurant that started out on Utopia of the Seas. We never got to try it, so we're definitely going to try it on Legend. This one takes you on a Marco Polo's journey across Asia and into Europe with different cuisines from different regions. I mean, how cool is that? You literally dining your way through history. Then there's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the musical. I love the story, I love the movie. I'm interested to see how they're going to turn that into a musical. And based on the other Icon class ships, it is going to be a spectacular show. Oh, and one more thing about Legend is that they're completely redoing the Aquadome market. So they're going to bring all new types of food options on Icon and on Star. We love the variety in Aquadome market, so having completely different choices on Legends means there's just that much more that we get to try. So if you're thinking about booking Legend of the Seas, I'd say do it sooner than later because the longer you wait, so far demand is going up and prices are only increasing. Moving on to number 2, and this is a game changer for anybody who is loyal to Royal or Celebrity, and that is the Point Choice program starting in 2026. This program is going to let you earn points across Royal Caribbean, Celebrity Cruises, and Silver Sea, and then choose which loyalty program you want to add those points to. Now, let me explain why this is such a big deal. If you cruise on Royal Caribbean, you earn Crown and Anchor points. If you cruise on Celebrity, you earn Captain Club points. And they're completely separate. But starting in 2026, you can take your Celebrity cruise and apply those points back to your Crown and Anchor status if you want to. Now, I'm Diamond Plus on Royal Caribbean, and I can tell you honestly, we've been hesitant over the years to cruise on Celebrity because we were trying to build up our level of the tiers on Royal Caribbean. And so I can definitely see how there's going to be a lot more crossover between the two cruise lines. And I know some people say they're the same cruise line. The parent corporation is the same. The lines are different. The way I explained it is Toyota versus Lexus. Nobody's going to say they're the same car. Yes, they're manufactured by the same corporation, but they're very different. In fact, I just went on my first Celebrity cruise on Excel, and I did a couple of videos on that showing how Celebrity is really different from Royal Caribbean. So if you're interested in that, I'll link that in the description. Check out that video. One thing to keep in mind though, this is only applying going forward. So if you already sailed on the other cruise line, you can't go back retroactively and add those points. So this is only from 2026 and forward. Now let's shift gears and talk about some money-saving options. And the first one is a really interesting one. Royal Caribbean is testing a 1-hour internet pass for $9.99. Traditionally, Royal Caribbean has offered internet packages where you pay per day for the entire cruise. And so if you just need to check an email or post a couple of photos, you were stuck with paying way more internet than you actually needed. But this new 1-hour pass is perfect if you just need to log in for a short period of time, get some work done, check in with family. Now, I always buy internet for the whole duration of the cruise because I have to work while I'm cruising, but if you don't need constant access, this 1-hour pass could save you a lot of money. Right now, it's only being tested on a handful of ships, so it might not be available on your next cruise, but if that's something you're looking for, definitely keep an eye out to help you save some money. Royal Caribbean is making some changes to the Key, which is their VIP program that you pay for, that has perks usually reserved for the suites or the top tier loyalty members. Now, I personally never purchased the Key because every time I didn't feel like it was worth it. However, with this one change that they're coming in, I think it might be worth it in the future, especially on shorter sailings. So let me explain. First, for the negative, they are removing complimentary private time on a flow rider. If that was a big draw to you, that's gone, but I know it's probably not something that most people would use. But here's the good news. It now includes 50% off select onboard sports activities, up from 25% previously, and a $60 spa credit when you spend at least $250 in spa services. Now, here's why this matters. We love the spa, and on shorter cruise, if you're planning to get a massage or a facial, that $60 credit could actually make the Key worth it when you combine it with other benefits like the welcome lunch, the specialty dining discounts, priority boarding, and the Wi-Fi, of course. The Key typically costs between $25 and $50 per person per day, so you do want to do the math based on what you're planning to do on your cruise. But if you're somebody who likes the spa and you want to get all those other perks, it might actually be a better deal now. All right, let's talk about something really exciting, and one of these we actually got to experience. The Royal Caribbean is opening 3 new beach clubs. The first one just opened in Nassau, Bahamas, and if you're not familiar with the beach club concept, it's basically an elevated, all-inclusive beach day experience. You pay extra for it, kind of like a shore excursion, but you get access to pools, beaches, premium food and drinks, and a lot of other perks. So the first one, Royal Beach Club, Paradise Island in Nassau, just opened at the end of December 2025. We were there on the 3rd day it was open, and let me tell you, it is stunning. You've got this massive swim-up bar, beautiful pools, beach access. The food was really good. It's right next to where the cruise ships dock, so it is super convenient. Now, it does come with a cost, and depending on the package you choose, you're looking anywhere from $100 to $200 per person. It also depends when you actually buy it because prices fluctuate all the time. If you want a relaxing resort-style beach day without the crowds, it is worth considering, and I just did a video reviewing that club, so make sure to check it out. I'll link it in the description. The second beach club is opening in Cozumel, Mexico in late 2026, possibly 27. As of right now, there's not an official date yet. This will be about 20 minutes from the port, what they say, and you'll be able to get there by bus, taxi, and even water taxi. Royal Caribbean is actually demolishing the existing property there and building a brand new beach club from scratch, and you'll have heated pools, swim-up bar, beach access, all that same all-inclusive experience. And if you've been to Cozumel before, you know how beautiful the beaches are there. So I think this one's gonna be incredible, but it'll be interesting to see how it compares to the current all-inclusive resorts that Cozumel already has quite a few of. And then the third beach club is opening in Santorini, Greece in the summer of 2026. Now, this one is a little different because Royal Caribbean bought an existing club and they are enhancing it rather than building it from scratch. And here's what makes it also special. Every day pass includes a scenic ferry tour along Santorini's coastline, plus stops in the picturesque towns of Ia and Fira. So you're not just getting a beach day, you're getting a full Santorini experience. Now, I've been to Perfect Day at Coco Cay for, I don't know, about 15 times, and I love it. And the Nassau Beach Club was, to me, very similar in experience, other than you had to pay for it, of course. And again, check out my video if you're interested in it. But it'll be interesting to see how these other beach clubs are going to compare, and also what the pricing is going to end up being after the whole hype goes down in, let's say, a year or two down the road. It'll be interesting to see what they will be charging for them to stay competitive with other options that we have. But to me, the more options we have, the better. Next up is the Royal Caribbean is going to amplify 3 different ships in 2026. And if you've sailed on any ships right before or after amplification and kind of compared them, you can know that there's a big difference. Those ships, they can take a 30-year-old vessel and spruce it up and make it feel like new, well, almost like new. Obviously, you can't change the structure, but they do change quite a few things in them. So they're going to amplify Ovation of the Seas, Harmony of the Seas, and Liberty of the Seas. And if you've seen any of these ships recently, you know they're great as it is. But then when newer ships like Icon and Utopia come out with these amazing features, it can make older ships feel a little dated. So that's where the amplification comes in. So what are they adding? Well, let's start with Ovation of the Seas. She's getting a completely renovated pool deck with private cabanas, a whirlpool. They're adding Giovanni's Italian kitchen, Azumi Hibachi, and the pesky parrot bar, which, by the way, we loved on Utopia, and a new nightclub called Sound Cellar. Plus, they are expanding the casino and adding new suites, including the Ultimate Family Suite. Over on Harmony of the Seas, they're getting a Caribbean-style pool area with that really popular lime and coconut bar, a redesigned solarium, and here's a big one. They are adding Samba Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse. I thought the Royal Caribbean was actually phasing out this venue, but apparently they're bringing it back, and I'm here for it. They're also adding the largest Casino Royale in the fleet and the Ultimate Family Suite. And the Liberty of the Seas is getting a reimagined pool deck, a new Royal Escape Room, Izumi Hibachi, and Starbucks. All of this work is happening in spring and summer of 2026, so if you're sailing in the summer or fall of that year, then you should be able to experience those new features. Royal Caribbean is launching a new port in San Diego, California in October 2026, and that's really exciting for those who are sailing out of California. Up until now, for those departures, you could only sail out of Los Angeles, which is the San Pedro port. Serenade of the Seas is going to be the ship home porting there, and she will offer 2 to 7 night sailings to the Mexican Riviera. So you'll still visit places like Ensenada, and there will be also La Paz, which is actually a new stop for Royal Caribbean. So if you live out west, you're going to have another option now where you can go spend a day or 2 in a beautiful city, then hop on a short cruise and just have a nice vacation without having to fly across the country. If you're interested in sailing to the Mediterranean, then this will be exciting for you because Royal Caribbean is involved in a proposed new cruise project in Fiumicino near Rome. Fiumicino is roughly 45 to 60 minutes from central Rome, depending on traffic, so it could be a convenient gateway. Reporting says that project is intended to allow only 1 cruise ship at a time to dock, and Royal Caribbean has been tied to the site since 2022. Timelines have been in flux, so there has been local pushback and ongoing approvals, so I treat any open date right now as tentative. There's also been talk that ships could anchor offshore and tender passengers in by small boats in the early phases before the full dock facility is operational. Now, the next one is going to be somewhat disappointed, especially if you're in the Northeast, and that is Royal Caribbean pulling out of Baltimore, Maryland in October 2026. Right now, Vision of the Seas home ports in Baltimore, and she offers some really convenient sailings for people in that area. But in October 2026 is going to reposition to Fort Lauderdale for Caribbean cruises. Royal Caribbean has said that they're considering returning to Baltimore in the future, and the newer deployments that just came out indicates that Vision is expected to return seasonally to Baltimore in 2027. But for now, if you've been sailing out of Baltimore, you're going to have to drive or fly to a different home port. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these changes are you most excited about? And if you are planning to cruise soon, then check out these videos next to help you plan your Royal Caribbean cruise the best. Thank you for watching.